Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my goodness. So I got all my notes. I moved my computer off to the side over here. There's been some challenges with my phone and seeing your messages. Last week it kept popping up that one of the girls had kept popping on, and definitely other people, but it was giving me the same person. So we'll see how this plans out today. We'll see how this works. So anyway, today is Saturday, April 24th, 2021. And I'm entitling this today, No One to the Rescue. And why am I doing that? I'm going to start out with a story. This is Grandma's on a Mission. This is Shelly Jean, and I want to thank you so much for stopping by. And the reason I said this was when I was younger, I grew up in a very domestic violent household, from Friday to Sunday, every week. And during the week, things were normal. You know, my stepdad, he would go to work and pay the bills. And, you know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she took care of 5 of us. There was me and 4 brothers. And my dad was later on in later years, he was an alcoholic. And it's definitely one of those what do you want to call diseases that, you know, once you really understand it, or at least for me anyway, once I really understood it, I was able to forgive my dad for a lot of things. I had a brother that committed suicide due to a lot of things that happened with him, you know, and my stepdad. And so there's been a lot of forgiveness. There's been a lot of, you know, really looking outside of my family and doing other things. Like I went to a treatment center when my daughter was my baby, my youngest. She's now 36. She was 6 months old. And I put myself in treatment after I had put my mom in treatment for a gambling problem that she was having. At that time, my youngest brother was living with her, and my mom was so consumed with gambling that she barely could take care of my brother. So collectively, as a family team, we pulled together. We did a divine intervention, and we put my mom in a treatment center. And during treatment center was a thing called Family Week. And during Family Week, I realized I knew that I too had a serious problem, and had learned that, you know, a lot of the things that we were experiencing in our own home was due to I had not been drinking at this time, although I was definitely a very dry drunk. So I really had a lot of the same things that were going on, you know, as if I were actively drinking. And let me take that back. I had not been drinking for a long time. When I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I started drinking, as I was afraid that, you know, that she was going to be another boy and I was going to be a single mom. I knew, you know, when I found out I was pregnant with her, that I was getting divorced. And that, yes, sounds very, very selfish and horrible. And gratefully, she was very, when she was born, very, very healthy. And there's just a lot to be grateful about that. So anyway, back to the No One to the Rescue. And so I've been a thriver and victim of circumstances, right? So I'm in this family with my stepdad and my mom, and, you know, I didn't ask for him to be in our lives, and she certainly didn't know how to get out of it, because he was horrible. Like, he was a very horrible, mean, drunk person, and there was never no one to the rescue. And if there was someone to the rescue, then my mom would either pay for it, or we would pay for it. There was a price to pay. If somebody, you know, would come to our rescue, somebody else was going to get hurt, right? So there was no one to the rescue. And so we learned very quickly on to, you know, really just thrive and take care and do what we had to do, you know, with what life had handed us. And so I've spent pretty much my entire life on taking care of myself and taking care of my family, and definitely have learned what I want, what I don't want. So I didn't want my kids to grow up with drunk parents. I made sure that I stayed sober. They've never seen me drunk. They've never seen me do drugs. I've been drug free since I was 20, and I've drank 2, maybe 3 times in the whole 36 years that after I went to treatment. And there was the one period of time when I got drunk again is I was so low in my life at that point again that I really just wanted to die. I just had some really, really awful people in my life, and I allowed them to affect me. And I was like, nope, I'm never doing that again. Never. Those are the words I really want you to hear this morning, is never again. And these people taught me some really valuable lessons too of who I didn't want to be. And I definitely did not want them around my kids. I didn't want them to have any other role in my kids' life, and so I had to cut them off. And I'm giving you permission to do that in your own life. If there's something or someone in your life that is, not, well, hey, Shelly, good morning, my friend. So if there's somebody in your life that is, causing bodily harm, or, is just treating you in such a manner that is very disrespectful, or they don't, believe in your values, and you just have this constant fighting, drama, trauma back and forth, I want you to understand that you can break free from that. Like, it is a decision. And I know that sometimes, like with my mom, it was really, really hard for her to walk away. And every time that she did, again, there was a price to pay. My stepdad would come and literally hunt her down. Like, it was just awful. And he would find her, and then it was another fight that would ensue. Or there was this, oh, I love you and I'm so sorry. And yeah, definitely, Shelly, you definitely got to drop the toxic people, even if it's your family. And that's really a challenge, because we're taught and told that regardless of what our family does or whatever, they do, that we're supposed to. Now there's the other word, supposed to love them regardless. And no, that's not true. You don't have to love anyone. And even being born into the parents that you have, who says you have to love anybody? There's not a rule that says that, and you can let them go. And like I said, my stepdad was just horrible to my mom and to us. And it is very hard, but it is very cleansing too, right, Shelly, is to let go of those toxic people that can really hold you back. And once you can really make that decision and you can feel free about it, and then there's other people in your life say, how dare you? Like, how can you do that? It's easy. You know what? Because I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of, being put down. And these two words are very crucial in a conversation that's coming up in just a minute, that I'm too tired. Like, I'm tired of, being beat down. I'm tired of, no one to the rescue. So I'm the one that had to rescue myself. I didn't have anybody else, and I didn't really know the tools either until, like I said, I went to treatment during the family week, that when my mom was in treatment for gambling, I went in and really learned that, I was very codependent in our family, and I was the rescuer in our family too. And that's a whole topic for a whole other day. And I find that I still do that. Like, I still rescue the underdogs. I still love the outcasts. I still, love that, I'm that person that people know that they can come to and trust, because I'm going to find a way to get you out of that situation. That's going to happen. And that's a mission of mine that's moving forward. And I'm going to bring just little bits about that moving forward. Next Saturday, I'm going to do a big reveal about this. And, it's the starting and the stopping of the game all the time, right? So I've always been a great starter, and I've not really been a great finisher. And I've realized too, in this journey of life, that my biggest not quitting on is my family. And I'm always here for my family. And I even have moments when I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be living in this cold tundra. I want to move somewhere else. And my daughter will say, well, go. And I'm like, oh, and it hurts my feelings. I allow it to hurt my feelings. And I'm like, really? Because I love being around them. I just don't want to live here. I just want to snatch them up and move somewhere warm. But my daughter and my son, they have families of their own, and they have my daughter, they have both grown up with their friends since, we moved here from South Dakota when they were in, kindergarten and first and second grade. And so they've lived their whole entire lives here, and their friends and their extended families and all these different things. And I'm like, oh, I just want to take them with. So that's, but I am to the rescue. But I have broken so many promises to them too, and have taught them things that, probably should not have taught them. And we'll get into more of that next week. And I haven't really made a commitment on what day I want to share this. And I believe that I'm going to come in on a night. I might even do it next Saturday night, after Grandma's on a Mission, next Saturday at 9 a.m. So just stay tuned for that. There's a lot of really great things happening. And again, though, I'm here, for the underdog and for the outcasts and for those that, we get in or at least I have, I've learned to be in a huge, great, big circle of really amazing, exceptional people that have inspired me and uplifted me. And I want to be that person for others as well. And continue to keep having the people that inspire and uplift me. But there's other people that really require my story, that really require knowing that there are other ways to do different things. And it has been a big challenge for me and I've struggled. I've used that word struggled, and I've been too tired to really work on these things. And I realize that, again, that's just the enemy just working on taking things away, because he doesn't want someone like me to teach other people about things on, or teach them values and how they can get themselves out of situations, or teach them to be good enough, or, whatever the case may be for them. I have some really powerful stories and empowering stories, and it's taken me a while to feel, again, really worthy on my own self. I'm feeling worthy enough to share these stories, because there was a time in my life I didn't care what you thought. I didn't care what you said. It didn't matter to me. And then somewhere down this line of self-improvement and self-development, I became very, very fearful of sharing a lot of my life, because I really felt that, wow, what will they think of me then, right? So my ego really got in the way, and the ego is definitely been being pushed out to the side. And a book that I'm greatly, greatly grateful for is Outwitting the Devil. I got it right here. And I've read this thing twice, and I'm reading it again, because I've realized that, going back and forth on this has really gained a lot of introspect on, the different things that are going on, and the push-pull that keeps going on. And I've been pushed around enough, and I pulled through so many different things, and I know that you have too. We all have amazing stories, and it's learning to share our stories that can really, help someone else to fulfill their dreams and their goals, and it's even helping me in my journey. So I just really want to say thank you so much for that, and I appreciate you. And so I was listening to, and I shared a little bit about this last week too. It's like, who are we listening to? Like, who are the people in our life? And they can be toxic. They might not be toxic. And, who knows what this person is for you. But and again, it's this, when is the last time you quit on something? Like, I have started and quit so many things, and I'm not quitting on this. I'm not quitting on the becoming the person that can really assist the outcasts, the underdogs, the people that, can really use my help. And I remember my pastor had told me 11 years ago when my son had died that, and I had cancer, and my daughter lost a baby, and my husband left me for a girlfriend and a group of friends, and my middle son was in prison for unintentional murder, that I was having a Job moment. And I was like, what the heck is a Job moment? And so I went to the Bible and read it, and I came back to him. Then I was really angry. I said, I don't know anything about, I'm not strong like Job. I'm not, I don't believe in God like how Job believes in God. And in fact, I'd walked away from my faith. I'd walked away from my religion. I walked away from everything. And I said, there's no way. And there was the one thing that, I really required at that time. Was a great friend of mine really had reached out to me through an email. We hadn't seen or talked to each other for a few years, and he had moved to Boston, and he just wanted to know what was going on. And so I shared with him, and he had, he's one of these kind of, he's like a brother from another mother, right? And he was just really great in getting me surrounded with some really amazing people. And, he had just asked me through an email what was going on. And gratefully, I was open enough to listen. And that's all I'm asking anyone to ever do, is just be open enough to listen to somebody else that can really, plant a seed for you to really change the trajectory of, where you want to go, or what is it that you want to do. And I'm 61 years old, you guys, and I'm working on it still, right? And I feel far, far, far better for it. Even with the one thing with my friend reaching out, I was able to get up out of bed. I was able to get moving. I was able to put one foot in front of the other. And, and now I'm believing that that it's a Job moment, right? Because it really, it's my faith, my religion, whatever that is for you, whatever works for you. You can be atheist for all that matters, whatever works for you, right? If you're into, science and all these different things, that's, I truly respect your beliefs. Mine, though, is a Job moment. And I truly believe that right now I'm really coming into a space where I'm super, super grateful. I've had amazing people in my life. And the one thing that you can do is just take the courage to continue. Just do that one thing that you can do to move into the next minute. And sometimes it is just 1 minute at a time. Sometimes it's one day at a time. And that mantra from AA, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference really, really works. And so, I may not hold on that mantra every single day, but I do live into my hashtag life does begin again every single day. Every single day I wake up with a heart full of gratitude. Me and our little Chimini Hannah, we say a prayer to God in the morning. We say, thank you, thank you, thank you for this day. And I do tend to forget to ask him, like, who can I serve today? And Saturdays are my favorite mornings to come on here and just really, drop you some words of wisdom that, prayerfully can help you in whatever it is you're going through. And, that's what I got for you today. So work on the mastery, of just that one thing even. And who can hold you accountable? Like who is the one person or the group of people or the, one thing that can hold you accountable to your dreams and goals. Right now too, I picked up a book called The 7-Minute Setup by Frank Lopes, and I connected with Frank, and I'm so grateful that I did. Like I even had challenges with that. Like I was going back and forth, like who do I talk to? Who can I share this with? Like I don't know who to go to. And it just became really, really heavy. Like there was like this intuition as knowing that it was to go to Frank, and thank goodness that I did, because this is where the trajectory of this whole series right here is going. This is the beginning of a new beginning, and like again, it's hashtag life does begin again. I'm super excited about it and fearful at the same time. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, and I do feel that I have this pretty clear message that I can bring to you, and so I am excited to share about that. So the other thing that we do is we do have predictive patterns. It took me a long time to figure this out, and it wasn't, and not like I haven't learned about vision boards or all these setting the goals and working the goals backwards. Like there's still parts of that I'm learning, and doing the do and working on that. I'm not ever going to quit again. Like I am promising myself that one. It's a big, big promise. You know what though? But I've gone through, when I decided not to drink, I stopped drinking. When I decided to stop doing drugs, I stopped doing drugs. When I decided to let go of toxic people, I was able to let go of toxic people. And so when you think back of the decisions that you've made and you were very clear about what it is that you wanted, what you didn't want, what happened for you, is I can promise you there's so much more that you have in you that you've already accomplished. And so just give yourself a great big victor pat for that, because that is really exceptional. And you are an exceptional being. And, and we're human and we make mistakes, and we're going to keep continuing to make mistakes. And the thing that you can do is just remind yourself of what is it that you want and what you don't want. And once the goals are written down, and I've written them down, and sometimes too, I'll write them down and don't look at them for days. And so what I've been doing is writing little Postit Notes all over my house. My daughter, and her, one of our friends comes over, and like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't remind myself all the time. Like, what is it that I really want to do? And so I got into this group called 75 Hard BWC. BWC stands for Breakfast with Champions. So it's hashtag 75 Hard BWC. And I was doing really great the first week, doing the 2 workouts a day, putting in the water, eating the right foods. And then I realized I was only drinking half a gallon of water, not the full gallon of water. So I just start all over. Oh, and then during that happened, then I got an infection. I have no idea what happened. So now I got to wait and start over again. So hopefully, after my antibiotics are gone, I'll get those on Monday. Then I can, not even hopefully, it'll happen and get back on the 75 Hard BWC. Like, I'm super excited about that. So just one thing like leads into another, into another, into another. And so when we interrupt our old patterns, and that's where I was going with this. And I started on the 75 Hard, even just doing those 2 workouts a day, and even drinking the half a gallon of water and eating better was the best I've felt in days. And last week, I got off the grid on that. I can tell you, like, by yesterday, I was exhausted. And so when we talk about I'm too tired, it's like, what are you too tired to do? Are you too tired to keep feeling too tired? And a lot of this came back from old pattern thinking of, I'm just tired of fighting. I'm tired of, all of this drama. I'm tired of, just different things or situations that come up. Well, guess what? We are the ones that are in charge of that. If you want it to change, then you've got to change. So it's got to pick up the book, listen to the podcast, surround yourself with different people. And if you're not in a situation or a place, because I'm not in a situation where I can surround myself with positive people, it's been podcasts, it's been books, it's been, Facebook. It's one day at a time, just posting one thing that's, remotely, something that I know I can do, whether I've completed or not. And again, there's that quit mentality. Is at least I wrote it down and I started out that way. And so I wanted to say too that that's a big deal. Like that's a victory all in itself. Is you thought it, you wrote it, and you started it, right? Whether you finished it or not, you did it. And so I just want you to really embrace that piece of what you did. And because I was really beating myself up because I wasn't finishing things. And then I realized though, it's like, you know what? I was in it. I started it. And so I'm telling myself that, yes, I know that I can do it. And yes, I know that I can complete the task. And yes, I know that I can. So as I can, I am, and I'm being, right? So you can say these things to yourself and just keep, telling yourself that over and over. If you got to put up Postit Notes or sticky notes all over your house, do that too, because it really does work and it really does help, and you'll be amazed too at the people that you connect with. I've had the most amazing connections, again, especially this last couple months when I decided to, again, like I said, start sharing my stories. Things are starting to, just open up, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So it's like this very clear about what the messages are and where they're going. So just intentionally prepare yourself because it's coming, right? It's coming. And then also, we talked about that Joe moment. For me, it's like not even just grow your mind, grow yourself physically, but also grow your soul. So whatever that is for you, make sure that, that you're growing, in all areas of your life, physically, mentally, spiritually, as it really can and does make a difference. So like even just going to the gym, make it a new habit, or just getting outside, make it a new habit. Interrupt your thought processes, right? And your doing processes and your being processes. You are the one that's in charge. Only you can create the day for you. Okay? So be the billboard of your future, not your past. And you definitely can use your past to create and build your future. And you can use the stories from your past because, again, it's what you want and what you don't want. And, realize what you changed and what you haven't changed. And what patterns is it that you still want to continue changing? Now, my newest, biggest one, too, is financial literacy, right? So in my former self, in my former business, I definitely could have retired a millionaire, and I made some really, really bad choices. And so what I want to do for future self is, again, I'm 61. who knows how, I mean, we all can go at any day, at any time. But let's say if I did and God granted me another 30, 40 years on earth, well, how am I going to live the next, even the next 1 year, the next 5 years, the next 10, 20, 30 years of my life? How am I going to do that differently? And again, it's just changing out patterns, doing things differently. And so that's what we're doing. All right. So that's all of that. And I just wanted to add today too that the update on my mom, I absolutely love you and all your support when it comes to my mom. And, I look at her too and I'm just like, wow, my mom's not that old. My mom is only 16 years older than me and I'm 61, right? And she really looks really good right now compared to what she looked like last year. Like you really could tell like she was dying and like her body aged like 30 years overnight. I mean, it was crazy. And she is looking really good right now. Dementia is just a really evil thing, I think. And again, though, I'm learning, how to overcome that and definitely not quitting on my mom, right? And my mom has been, my mom can have evil moments with me too. Like, yeah. And now, though, she can't speak, and I wouldn't give anything now to have a conversation with her. So you think about what you want, what you don't want, where you really want things to go. There's a price to pay for everything, whether it be good or bad. It's right. Okay. I want you to really hear that. Whether it's good or bad, it's right, because it's where you put yourself and where you place yourself. And yes, there are really bad things happen to really great people. And it does happen. And I've read that book too. And it's a really, really great book. And again, not beat yourself up about that either. You just got to figure out a way how to get out of that. There is a solution. Okay. So we're here for you. It's like you're here for me and my mom, and my family. I absolutely love you. And so to give you an update too on my pre-cancer skin cancer, it's been really weird. I mean, it's healing, obviously, but it's like having pimples on your face. So I'm always like constantly poking at it. It's like, get your hands off your face. But I'm just so grateful that they were able to catch it before it went into any kind of stages. It was, so they were able to burn it off. I had 3. She burned 5. There was a couple other ones that, she just took care of. And I go back in for a full body physical in 3 months. So make sure you go in for your wellness checkups, everyone. It's so important. It's the second time now I've had gone in for a wellness checkup and found out I had cancer. So make sure you take care of yourself, okay? Do your wellness checkups. Very, very uber important. And happy birthday to you this week that you've had your birthday, and many, many blessings to you. And I pray you a brand new year of goodness and greatness in your life and success in the little things, because the little things are the big things. All right, everyone. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday right here, 9 a.m. at Grandma's on a Mission live. And like I said, we'll be sharing what's coming ahead, and things are about to really drastically change again. And I am super excited about it. So I look forward to seeing you next week. I absolutely love you, and thank you so much again for your continued support. And you can find me at Grandma's on a Mission and #LifeDoesBeginAgain. All right, everyone, take care. Bye.